Hello guys, welcome to SFDCPathshala. Hope you guys are doing well. This is the another video of GraphQL series, and in this video we are going to learn about GraphQL operators. So basically whenever we are using GraphQL query, we need sometimes where clause. So those operators will help us in where clause. If you see my screen, so I have all the operators here. First of all, we will look into EQ, then NE, LT, GT, LTE. I will explain all those operators one by one. Also, I will execute query using Postman for all of them. Okay, so let's take a look into first one, EQ. It stands for equals to. So whenever we need to execute any where clause like equals to, then we are using it. For example, we need to retrieve data like whatever the account type is, industry. So we will use the query select id name from account where account type is equals to industry. In this scenario we are using this eq operator. Then any, it stands for not equals. It means whenever we need to use a where clause where we are not going to take that kind of data, in that situation we are using any. For example, we are not going to keep data of mm, educational industry. So the query will be select id name from account where industry type not equals to a study, like that. So this is the another example. And then we are going to use, like whenever we need to use less than, then we are using lt. What is the meaning of this lt? So for example, we need to retrieve data last modify less than today. So in that situation we are using this, we can use this. Similarly, for GT, it stands for greater than. So whenever we need to retrieve data using greater than, like mm, where last modified date greater than yesterday, in that case we are using this GT. We have another operator called LTE. It stands for less than equal to. So whenever we need any kind of logic where we need to use LT, like less than equal to, then we are using LTE. Similarly, GTE, it stands for greater than or equals. So in that case we are using GTE. Then we have another one called like. So this like operator is basically used whenever we need to retrieve data. Let me take an example for it. For example, we need to retrieve data uh, where account like Rohit. Okay, so in that case we are using this like operator. You know about like operator, I hope you are aware of SOQL queries. So I hope you know about like operator. Another one is in operator. So basically in operator, when we are using whenever we need to query with any list of string, date, IDs, like that. Okay, so what will be the query for it? For example, we have some names like Salesforce, Google, Facebook, and we need to retrieve those data. So we can make a list like this. Like for example, we can make a list like this: uh, Salesforce, Google, Facebook, and then we will use this. Like the query will be select ID name from account where name in this list. So this is the in operator, and similarly we can use this in operator in GraphQL query. The another one is nin, like not in. Not in means we are not going to retrieve those data. So we are using like select ID name from account where name not in this list. Okay, so similarly we can use this in GraphQL query. So in that case, we are using NIN operator in GraphQL. Similarly, in queue. So see, this is the similar like in operator, but here we are using another query. For example, we need to retrieve data where con in contact, like for example, there is a account and the child contact which have phone number. Only that accounts we need. Then what will be the query? Select ID from account where ID in, and then we are writing another query here to retrieve account ID from contact. So what will be the query? Select account ID from contact where phone not equals to null. So select account where ID in, select account ID from contact where phone not equals to null. So this is the example where we are using another query to retrieve account ID, and like it will return a list of account ID, and based on that we are retrieving the account. So basically this operator will work like this. If you see in an element in query, use this function to create a semi-joined filter. Like see, this is a semi-joined filter. This is the another filter, and similarly we are using to get the account ID. So this is the way to retrieve, how we can retrieve a account associated with some other objects. So this is the way. Similarly, we have NINQ. It means we can use here not, like select ID name from account where ID not in this list. Okay, so I will show example of all of those operators one by one. First of all, let's recap that syntax. What is the syntax? So we are writing like query query like this, and then UI API like this, then again query, then the object name whatever we are going to use, like account, contact, or some custom object. So we are going to retrieve data from account, so like this, and then the aids, and then node. So this is the basic syntax we need to use for GraphQL query. And then in nodes, we can retrieve our fields like ID, name. So for name, we can retrieve value. For name, we can retrieve value. Similarly, other kind of fields like owner, created by, last modified by, billing street, type, other kind of fields. Okay, so this is the basic syntax of GraphQL. I hope you are getting the point. Okay, now we can use filter. So how we can use filter? If you see, first filter is equals. How we can use this EQ filter? So for that, we need to, the syntax is simple. We need to write like this, where, okay, and then where type. I'm going to take example of type, and then EQ, and whatever value you want to use here. So for example, A, B, C. So this is the syntax to use EQ operator in GraphQL. So this query will looks like in SOQL. Select ID name from account where type equals to A, B, C. So this will be the SOQL query, and this is the GraphQL query. Okay, now let's execute this in our Postman. So if you see in my documentation, I have written this query. So this is a simple query like select ID, name, type, billing street, billing city, owner ID, date, last modified from account where type equals to customer direct. So this will return the customer direct types only. Okay, so first I will retrieve all data and then I will show using this filter. This, you see, this is the EQ operator. So I will show after using this EQ operator. Okay. Okay, let's go for postman. First of all, we need to get the access token. So I'm sending the request to get access token again, and this is my access token. Let me copy this access token. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, so I copied this access token. Now let's go for GraphQL query. I need to put this access token into my header. So this is the header for authorization. I put it my access token, and let's see the query. So this is the query for last video. Let me hit this query again, and if you see, I will get the response as if you see the type value. So customer direct. Uh, okay, let me show you another. Okay, again customer hyphen direct. Uh, let me okay, see, customer hyphen channel. So if I will use here where clause, then it will retrieve only data for customer direct. Okay, so let me copy this query and I will execute this using postman. I hope you guys are understanding this query. If not, please comment down. I will explain this in a separate video, but hopefully you guys are getting the point, because it's a simple query, simple syntax. There is nothing. Okay. Okay, now I need to copy from this one, then modified. Okay. Mm, okay, so this is the query which we are going to execute. Simply we are going to retrieve name, type, billing street, like billing address, and the phone, rating, owner ID, name, and the where clause will be type equals to customer direct only. Okay, let me hit this. So this is the data we are getting. Let's check for only for type value, like it would be only customer direct. Okay, so this is the customer direct. Again customer direct, customer direct, customer direct, and customer direct. Okay, so this is the way to retrieve data using equals. Now let's take a look for not equals. So simply I can change the operator here. So neq, and then I will execute it. If you see, we have another operator like, sorry, ne, it means not equals. So just I had changed the operator, and let me hit it again. Now you see, the type not would be customer direct, it would be some others, like see the channel, customer channel. Okay, customer channel and customer channel. So this is the way to use not equals in GraphQL. Okay, now let's take a look for another operator. So the another one is okay, less than. Okay, so less than, for less than I have written this SOQL query, which is simple, like select ID street, like billing street, like billing address, and then where last modified less than today. Okay, I'm going to execute this query. If you see, this is the way to write where clause for last modified, and this is the way to use less than operator here. Okay, let me copy this. Okay, uh so let me try to get data. If you see less than today, it means the data modified day before, like yesterday, day before yesterday, like that, older one. So that's why it is retrieving all data. Okay, so this is the way to retrieve data using less than. Similarly, we can use greater than. So I will use gt here. If I will use gt for the same query, then you see there is nothing, because there is no any record which is modified after today. Greater than today, it means ki after today, so there is nothing which is modified after today, so that's why we are getting nothing. So this is way to use greater than. If you see the query, SOQL query, so it's greater than. And if you see the where clause in GraphQL, so this is the way to implement it. Okay, now let's take a look for less than equals to. So for less than equal to, we can use similar kind of example. So similarly, I need to use this operator only. So if I will use this operator, so you will see nothing, like no changes. But if you try to execute by changing some, modifying some data, then you can understand how this is working. So I'm just executing the queries here. You can implement, like you can modify by today, and then you see, am I getting my record or not? Or if there is any modified yesterday, is that record is coming or not, by using lt, gt, like that. So you can implement multiple kind of queries here. You can perform multiple kind of queries here. I'm just introducing you with syntax. So this is the way to use less than equal to. If you see, I'm getting the records, I'm getting the data, and similarly you can implement this into your hands-on. Okay, the another one is greater than equal to. So for that, we just need to change the operator like gte. Okay, gte. So if I will change the operator and then I will hit the I will hit this query, then you see I'm getting nothing, because there is nothing which is modified today or day after today. So that's why we are getting nothing. Okay, let's take a look in another example. If you see, there is a like operator. We have the like operator, and I have written a simple query using SOQL, using like operator in SOQL. So this is the way: select id, name type, address, and then from account, and then where type like customer. Okay, like customer, I hope you know about SOQL query and how we are implementing like operator into that. So it will help you here. Okay, so this is the way to write like operator in SOQL query. Similarly, we can write it into our GraphQL query. So for that, what we need to do, we just need to write like where type like, and similarly customer percentage. Okay, so this is the way to implement like operator in GraphQL query. Let me copy this, and let me show how it will return data. Okay, if I will hit it, then it will return records all records whichever type like customer. Okay, if I will do any mistake here, and then let's try to hit it, then you see it will return nothing. And if I will do any syntax mistake and then try to hit, then it will throw invalid syntax error. Okay, so see, I'm just trying to give you a demo to execute GraphQL query in Postman, so you can understand how GraphQL query is working. I hope you guys are understanding. Okay, now let me execute another operator, which is in operator. So I given an example of in operator previously as well. And here you see I have another SOQL example. In this I am showing to retrieve data where type in customer direct and customer channel. Similarly, if you see in GraphQL query where type in operator here, and then similarly I'm using this list. Okay, now let me copy this and let me execute this one. Okay, now let me hit this query. If you see, it's returning data from account where type equals to customer direct and customer channel as well. If I will make it like something different, for example, I'm writing here a b c and then x y z, and then try to get this. So you see there is no error, it's returning 200 response, like there is no error, but there is no error because data, because we are trying to retrieve data where type equals to abc and xyz. So this is the way to use in. Similarly, we can use nin, it means not in. If I will change the operator and hit the same query, then you see I can get all data which is not equals to abc and xyz. If I will change this value and then try to use nin, not in, and will hit this, then you see I can get records where type not in, where I can, so yeah, so type value not equals to customer direct and customer channel. So those are null type values data. So I hope you guys are understanding in and not in operators in GraphQL. Okay, let's take for another one. So we have another one is okay. So we have another one is called INQ. So I already given an example of it, and here I have another example. So if you see, I have a SOQL query. In this query, I am trying to retrieve data where opportunity stage is closed won. So see, this is the simple SOQL query. Select ID, name, type, billing, address from account where id in where id in select account id from opportunity where a stage equals to closed one. So this will return a list of account id where opportunity a stage equals to closed one, and then this in operator will work to retrieve the account whatever in this list. Okay, similarly we can use in GraphQL query. So this is the syntax how we can use. So first of all you need to write where clause id in queue. So like see, if you see where clause we are writing similarly like where type in queue or in nin, like that. So we are we are going to keep the similar syntax till here. Now we need to get the list of account IDs where opportunity stage equals to closed one. So we need to write another GraphQL query here to retrieve account ID. So this is the syntax. I hope you guys are understanding the syntax. Let me copy this. From where till this. Okay, so if I'm trying to explain this, okay, so this is the syntax to use another query in for in queue. Okay, where id in queue opportunity, we are going to retrieve data from opportunity. That's why we need to pass here opportunity, and then whatever we are trying to use here in where clause. So a stage name equals closed one, and then we need to retrieve account id. API name, it means whatever field we are going to retrieve, so the account id. Now this query will return a list of account ID, and this will compare with the account ID, and then we will get data whichever opportunity is closed on. Okay, so I can copy only this, where this part only. I can copy this part only. Let me copy this part only. And where, okay, otherwise everything is similar, so I just copied this part and let me send it. Then you see I'm getting some records, and if you will compare those records with your org, and then we'll try to check for opportunity a stage, then those are closed one. So this is your homework. After watching this video, you can implement those queries, and you can check, you can test, you can execute multiple kind of queries for here. Okay, I hope you guys are understanding this. Now we have another operator called n in q. It means not in that query value. Okay, so for this we just need to use this I sorry, for this we just need to use this ninq operator. Okay, so trying I'm going to copy this operator and then we'll paste here. Okay, now if we will I execute, then it will return some other data where the opportunity stage not equals to closed won. Okay, so this is the way to use GraphQL operators. So I covered all the operators. In next video, I will implement this GraphQL query in LWC component. So please keep watching. If you getting something from this video, please hit the like button, drop your comment, feedback, anything like feedback, any query, anything you can drop in comment section. If you are new for this SFDC Pathshala, you can subscribe for similar kind of videos. Till then, I will say keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.